Hello and welcome to the second edition of the Taboo podcast. I'm here today with Lincoln International Vice President at the University of Lincoln, Mohit Bulchandani. Mohit, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yes, so I'm the Vice President International for the Students' Union, and I basically look after international students at the university and make sure their voices are heard and basically try to support them in any way that I can.
That's great. We're here today to talk about the representation of black, ethnic and minority students at the university, and like I said, I've got a few questions to start off with. So I'd like to start by getting a little bit about your role as VP International. Sort of what does it require and what sort of action do you sort of take on a day-to-day basis?
So basically what we do at the Students' Union, all 5 student leaders are given certain remits, and we basically look after all the students in whatever remit that we are given. So my remit is the Vice President International, so I basically make sure that all the international issues are represented forwards and then take it forward to the university. If there are some things that we can do quick fixes, or even if they take longer, basically provide them with that fix. And one of the things that also is required in my role is that I signpost them in the right directions. So if they need advice, for instance, I signpost them to the advice centre. And one of the key focuses, again, that I really am passionate about, I'd say, is the integration between home and international students as well. So making sure that everyone feels included in the community, the whole inclusivity aspect of things when it comes to sports, societies, campaigns network, etc.
So you mentioned sort of the inclusivity between home and national students. What sort of opportunities can the SU offer to people from, say, black, ethnic and minority backgrounds?
So when it comes to black, ethnic and minority backgrounds, well, we make sure that everyone's voice is equally heard, obviously. And then we do have our BAME officer who specifically looks after all the BAME things that come to her. And then we make sure that, so it's a student volunteer position, so obviously we try and support our BAME officer who's part of Campaigns Network as much as we can. And one of the things that we all look forward to do, and even I support the African Caribbean Society. So we have in October we just had the Black History Month, where we try to bring up issues that black students or just the community overall face, and then we try to address those issues as well.
Now, unfortunately, racism can still be a common thing that's in society. If a student has a complaint and comes forward to say, I believe I'm being a victim of sort of racist behaviour, what steps would the SU then take to sort of prevent this from happening?
So the SU has a no tolerance policy when it comes to racism, so we literally do not accept any sort of racist comments, or even we just don't accept any sort of racist behaviour in terms of actions or comments. And then if anything like that is reported, we take it to our advice centre, who then take it to the right place, and if required, a police complaint or whatever is required for the procedure. And the procedure has been taken very seriously, and everything is taken into consideration.
In terms of a case where a student comes forward about racism, does the Students' Union tend to work with the university in terms of issues of that man?
Yes, definitely. So the Student Support Centre obviously has their Don't Tolerate Hate campaign, which is, again, hate comments when it comes to any community. It's not just about black, ethnic, minority groups, but any other community as well. Any sort of hate comments will not be accepted. So what we do is we work with the Student Support Centre closely, and even the Wellbeing Centre as well, and we make sure that every single issue, if needed, obviously, we have trained advisors, and then the Student Support Centre has trained advisors, the Wellbeing Centre has trained advisors, so we make sure that every single step is taken very carefully.
And how frequent are these cases? Have there been sort of many incidents over your tenure as VP International?
I did not have one coming to me yet, but obviously since all these matters are taken very confidentially. So what our advice centre, we don't. They might have got some. I do not know about those because it's handled with utter confidentiality. So we just so no one other than the advice centre would know about those.
And I mean, these say you don't know too many details of cases. Has there been, to your knowledge, a extremely sort of serious case in recent years of sort of racist behaviour that the university has had to deal with?
I'm not sure of any. Sorry.
That's understandable. So you mentioned previously the African Caribbean Society, and I know that they have this year, I believe, started a football team to sort of help the inclusion of sort of black, ethnic, and people from those minority backgrounds. Along with the African Caribbean Society, sort of how does the SU support societies like ACS and other societies that offer opportunities for people of minority backgrounds?
So basically, we have our so when it comes to all the minority backgrounds, we have our BAME campaigns network lead, and then we have our ISA officer as well. So our BAME officer and ISA officer, they have they basically as students they bring up events that they want to do, and then we sort of facilitate them and how to do these events and stuff like that. And also if there's any issues that's reported to us, like I mentioned before, we just follow the procedure for it.
What kind of events have you previously ran with these societies?
We've had the Black History Month since 2 years, and then with ISA we've done with the International Students Association we've done lots and lots of events when it comes to doing the international quiz, doing Lunar New Year, doing so that basically we want to represent every single group. So we do for example, I myself combined with our ISA officer did the Diwali event as well. So we try to show as many different types of cultures so that everyone feels included in the community here as well.
And do you find that people from sort of home and sort of white British backgrounds also get involved in these events?
Definitely. I believe the Diwali event, from what I saw, there were more home students than international students specifically for that event. But other than that as well, we have a lot of different types of, for example, if you see the K-Wave Society, there's more home students than, so K-Wave is basically Korean, so they basically appreciate Korean culture. So they have more home students than international students, so that's just kind of showing that everyone's willing to take more and more. And it's the good thing is it's increasing every year, so that's very good to see.
And following on from that, I know that certain societies, like you mentioned the K-Wave and also the ACS society, they allow sort of people who aren't from those necessarily backgrounds to join their societies in sort of an effort to educate people about their cultures. Does the sort of SU do any sort of offer any sort of events and experiences where people from sort of a white British background can come to be educated about other cultures?
Yeah, so as the VP International, my main role is to do these events as well. Obviously it's just one of the parts of the role. Like I said, we did the International Welcome Party, that was by the SU, where we had different types of food from different cultures, and we had the different music playing throughout the night, and then we after that we're currently planning on Lunar New Year for next year, and then we're looking for trips across the different parts of the UK. So all these things are being done in order to aid international students being comfortable here, but also for home and international students to feel they can actually be close to each other. And it's been, in my opinion, it's been received very well this year.
I'm sure you'll be aware that it sort of hits the news most weekends now that racism in sport, and particularly we've seen it in football quite frequently, has been a really big issue. How does the university and the SU try to combat that in sort of societies and sports here?
So we have a very strict complaints procedure. So if anyone feels like they have been sort of racially abused or anything, they straight up bring it up. They can straight up bring it up to us. Obviously, this is certain things that us as sabbatical officers wouldn't know unless it's been brought up to us. But whenever there's like any issues as such, we take the whole procedure into place again. And the advice centre obviously comes very key in this case, because they give us all the sort of legalities that we need to go through, on top of obviously supporting the student as well.
I think I've got a couple more questions. The last one, Students' Union based, is the Students' Union offers a lot of jobs in its venues, such as Tower Bar, the Swan, the Engine Shed. How do you ensure that students from minority backgrounds have equal opportunities for these roles?
I am not entirely sure, since this is more of an operational side of things, and we're not really into more of operational, we're more into the strategic side of things. But from my knowledge is that the race is not visible to the person. This is what my knowledge is, that the interviewer cannot see the race of the person.
And my last question is sort of, aside from university and Students' Union life, how can people in society sort of help inspire a positive change to discourage racist behaviour that has become such a sort of mainstream media thing in the last 30 years?
Sorry, could you repeat that? Sorry.
So it's just, aside from the university and the Students' Union, what can regular people in society do to sort of discourage racism and prevent it from becoming an even bigger issue?
I'd say the first thing is like, it almost becomes very necessary that we understand that even like certain people just go like, oh, it's just a joke. I don't think that's acceptable. Like if there's no condition in which a person should be able to pass racial comments based, even if it's a joke in their eyes, but like clearly that shouldn't be the case. That's just my opinion. That's one of the things. And obviously the second thing would be to make everyone around you, international, home, different race, doesn't matter, make them feel included with you. So it's just a matter of like providing the helping hand to a person and then just going along the same path.
Do you feel like, you mentioned people sometimes can see it as a joke, do you feel that education can be the big stopping point for that, particularly in schools with younger people who maybe have that mindset sometimes and they see it as maybe friendly banter? Do you feel that education and better education in schools about different cultures could improve?
Definitely, and this is where the university and Students' Union and even colleges come and take a big step and just educate people that it's not right to do these things. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's just about all the questions we have. Mohit, I'd like to thank you for agreeing to speak with us today.
Thank you very much, Jordan.
That's been just about everything for the second instalment of the Taboo podcast. We hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.